Welcome to InspiredScripture.com, where we break down the key lessons of every chapter in the Bible to make them relevant to you. In this video, we'll be talking about Job chapter 41, which we've titled, From God's Description of Leviathan, 7 Revelations and Warnings About Satan. Let's break it down. Lesson 1, Slander. Among the many questions that God asked Job, he began this question by asking a series of questions about an entity that he called Leviathan. He asked, can you drag out Leviathan with a fishhook and press down his tongue with a rope? Can you put in his nose and in his jaw a hook? Now, Job may have been puzzled at first by many of these questions, as are we. But if we look at some of the references to Leviathan throughout the Old and New Testament, we see that God is referring to none other than Satan himself. Isaiah 27:1 calls Leviathan a serpent. Other Old Testament references that are broken out on our website refer to him as a dragon. And in Revelation 12:3 and 9, he is again referred to as a dragon. And these Hebrew words that God uses, in fact, tell us some important things about Job's accuser and our accuser, Satan. We are told the word tongue in Hebrew means lashon, and it translates as slander. The book began with Satan slandering Job. It ends with God asking Job, can you stop the person who's slandering you? Job was unable to stop the slander against him, and so are we, unless we turn to God. Lesson 2, lies. God asked Job, will you make a covenant with him? Will you take him as a servant forever? John 8:44 tells us that Satan is the father of lies. Many will make covenants and promises with him, but these are illusory promises. Satan will not keep them, and these will lead to our destruction. Lesson 3, false sovereignty. After many descriptions of Leviathan and his scariness and his apparent power, God asked the question, whatever is under heaven is mine, meaning that everything that Satan has offered in terms of things that he claims to have as his are really not his at all. We know that when Jesus was confronted by Satan, Satan made an offer to Jesus that if Jesus would bow down, Satan would give him all the kingdoms of the earth. But it was never Satan's to give. Satan is not sovereign, God is. Lesson 4, pride. God says his strong scales are his pride. And after other descriptions, God writes or says, no air can come between him. Now, these statements contain Hebrew words that tell us some fascinating things. The word air in Hebrew, raush, translates as spirit, as in spirit of God. What it tells us is that his scales were so tightly wound together that the Spirit of God was unable to convict Satan, meaning Satan as a cherubim was once so consumed with his beauty that the Spirit of God could not convict him of his sins because he became so prideful in his heart. He is the father of pride and the one who tries to make us prideful as well. Lesson 5, danger. It says in God's questions to Job, from his mouth go burning torches, sparks of fire leap forth, and other similar descriptions. James 3:6 tells us that the tongue is among the body's smallest parts, yet, quote, it sets on fire the course of our life. Satan's greatest weapon against us is his tongue. He causes slander to be thrown against us and causes us to slander one another. His tongue, if we are not careful, can both lead us to a path of destruction and put us on a path of fear. Lesson 6, fear. After several descriptions of Leviathan, God says, when he rises up, the mighty are afraid. His heart, and he goes on to say, his heart is as firm as stone, meaning that Satan appears scary to many and will lead many astray. And his heart is full of stone, meaning that he doesn't care for us. God allows us to be tested to see where our hearts are. Will we turn back to him, or will we flee when Satan approaches? The word fear, in fact, can be translated as false evidence appearing real. Satan's power is not real. God's power is. Lesson 7, darkness. It says of Satan, he illuminates a pathway, and goes on to say that he is king over the sons of pride. These descriptions clearly could not be some type of animal. They have to be of Satan himself. And the path that Satan illuminates is a path that leads to our destruction. So these are the 7 key lessons. If you want to learn more, check out our website at inspiredscripture.com, and please like and subscribe. Thank you.